Hi everyone, this is Total War Therapy, and as you can suspect, the new patch, the 5.3, is finally out. There are not so many changes like in the 5.2, and neither some overwhelming mechanic and wonderful mechanic like the deeps of the dwarfs, but there are some changes that I think they will be far more impactful than that, and I'm very happy to share them with you. These changes have not been addressed by other YouTubers and content creators as far as I have seen. So I really want to give my contribute talking about them because I think they're very important, even if overall they've not been addressed so much. The first of that is the research flow. How many times you were fighting in a campaign for a plus research rate of 5%, and this 5% was not actually important, relevant, because since you need from 2 to 6 turns on average to get an upgrade, the 5% was not actually impact this, so it was useless. You were waiting to increase the 5% to 20% to start to be relevant. Even the 20% was relevant just with the very, forward in a campaign where you were unlocking upgrading of many turns. In this way, they kind of changed the research scope from percentage to points. So now you have the point, and when you have a 5%, even the 5% will not be relevant to get that upgrade. This missing point that not be used will just come to this that will be this research point surplus, and it will be used to the next upgrading. In this game, the any feature or character skills, character items that will increase the research rate will be actually relevant and effective. And guys, this is so wonderful. It's not something to miss. I mean, this change overall the technology way of playing the game. The second thing I want to talk with you is about the movement range display. This is just a little feature because they gave you this thing between point and percentage, but for me it's very good, guys, because I think the movement range has always been one of those things that you actually don't understand how they work. You just see that some lords can move more and some can move less, but you don't actually understand how much is this point, this percentage, and how it actually affected by the different stances. So now we finally got the final feature for that. It's something less confusing. It's still a little confusing and complex, but it's less chaotic, and you will have a better understanding of how much your lord can move. There are many things that they're still not so much clear for me, like that there is a limit to how much you can increase this range and how the heroes actually affect the movement range of the lord and things like that, but it's a good step in this direction. Another thing very important that been added are the new items for range characters. This is particularly important, guys, because as you know, there were not many. I mean, except for some factions like dwarves and empires that have been that they received in the very last DLC. These items, the other faction where they didn't just have them. Okay, so you were basically relying on their melee power, even if they were range characters like archers, pistols, and arch pistols, and whatever. Now, and you know, increasing with the items, you actually increase the powerfulness of a lord, of a hero, and in which way you can increase even the range one. That otherwise, you know, you would just there is I don't know, like a archer, bowman for the empire. You would give him just a sword that it would make stronger in combat, but it was not actually engaging in melee fight. In this way, he can actually be far more better in his range attack with his joy. And for me, it's a very important feature, and I'm very happy that they put it. The fourth thing I wanted to talk about you, that it will be probably even the cover of this game, it's the skull cannon, the blood cannon, as you prefer to call it. I really wanted it since a long time. I wanted to make a video about that, and unfortunately, before I made it, they solved the problem. The problem, guys, was that the school cannon had a very weird range attack. If you were aiming at a unit, if the projectile was going over beyond that unit. So the only way to use it properly was or as a flank, but even as a flank, sometimes the cannonball was going over all the lateral units and it was crazy. So you could use it only against cavalry, monsters, and it was not that accurate, so even flying monsters were not a good idea. Yeah, maybe just monsters infantry, monsters cavalry, there was the only way to use it. He had a good penetration, but in this way, as we saw, they had like this kind of little effect that will shrink the enemies, will attract them to the source of the damage, and he actually has a more arch range, so he can just attack the infantry unit. That, believe me, now I cannot. There is not way I can show you anymore, but before you cannot hit the infantry unit, and was crazy. Thank you for following me. And in the next weeks, I want to give a different direction to this channel because it's too much about speculation and I mean what's coming next and so on. I like to do speculation, I like things like that, but I would like to focus this channel more on what the game actually offers now, not in the future, not maybe, not nearby, no, now. Thank you for following me. Feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and see you soon.